What's up, you freaky folks? My name is Nick, and welcome to my channel, where I cover all things horror. Whatever you're watching, I'm making videos about, and every month I take a look at all of the streaming services to find lists of recommendations for you guys. I'm pretty sure you know the deal by now, but Peacock survives to be covered for another month. Maybe the last month, I don't know. But I do have to say, for this batch of recommendations, they have some solid Christmas horror as well as some fun gay stuff. So I guess you know whether or not this video is for you. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you do so. That way you stay up to date with what to watch and where to watch it. Number 10 is The Constant Gardener. This dramatic thriller is about a British diplomat whose activist wife is found murdered in Kenya. When the officials fail to reach a conclusion, the husband begins a desperate journey to discover what happened to his wife. This is all about government conspiracies and cover-ups, so if you can get into that crazy shit, this is a pretty dark movie, but it's based on a novel from the recently passed John le Carré, so if you're looking to respect his work, maybe check out this adaptation. It's not fun and it's a tad long, but I'd say that it's an important film that explores dark corners of the world not every movie is willing to tackle.
They want you silenced.
They killed my wife.
Be a good chap and leave this to us.
Don't try and play detective.
Number 9 is The Goonies. This adventure flick for kids is about a group of preteens who embark on an expedition to find buried treasure in their own neighborhood. After discovering a tunnel system connected to a seaside restaurant, the gang of Goonies try to locate an ancient treasure trove before the local mafia family beats them to the punch. This is an 80s classic and a staple for kids who grew up with it. Shout out to all of the cool babysitters who introduce kids to cool movies. It's an oldie, but it's charming and heartwarming, and maybe just the thing you need to get you through the winter.
Don't say that! Goonies never say die!
Number 8 is P2. Speaking of chills, this Christmas horror thriller is about a woman targeted by an obsessed security guard. On Christmas Eve, a woman played by Rachel Nichols is trapped in a parking garage by a twisted Wes Bentley. A fight for survival breaks out as she tries to break free from his dangerous grasp. I'm so glad that I rewatched this recently because I completely changed my grade on it. I always thought this was a pretty cheesy, fun survival thriller, but after watching it with a fresh perspective, I have to say I think this is an interesting look at the way that men objectify women. I mean, this isn't deeply explored, however, I do think it adds an extra layer to the contained survival thriller. And I'm so glad that all of my favorites have been talking about this one recently, so if you're looking to stream P2, check it out while it's on Peacock.
Please, if anyone can hear me, someone's trying to kill me. Merry Christmas.
And if you're looking for some extra holiday horrors, they also have Santa's Sleigh, which is such a mid-2000s direct-to-video trash slasher movie. It stars a wrestler as a killer Santa Claus. It's so ridiculous, it is so bonkers, and it's so dumb, but I mean, it's watchable. Plus, they have the original Black Christmas, which is honestly on every streaming service, so there's no excuse. You have to watch it if you haven't already. Number 7 is For a Good Time Call. This raunchy comedy is about a pair of frenemies who find themselves living together in New York City when times get tough. Together they start a phone sex line to make ends meet, and as their business booms, their connection grows to best friend status. Call me crazy, but I'm instantly won over by a female-centric comedy starring Ari Grainer. That's all I need, that's it. But I also love stories about friendship and finding oneself, and this is a hilarious journey of two gals getting their shit together while going through the craziest time in their lives. I know this one is pretty low rated across the board, but I can't help but love it.
Is this yours?
Yeah, sorry, I think it's empty.
Perfect! Stop! This is my new car! I do this all the time. Ta-da! See, no spills at all.
Number 6 is The Bone Collector. This thriller stars Denzel Washington as an ex-homicide detective who has become a quadriplegic after an accident. When a serial killer begins terrorizing New York City, he teams up with an up-and-coming police officer played by Angelina Jolie. Together, they try to track the killer before he strikes again. This is a fun spin on the serial killer thriller because you have one character outside of the scene working with a new investigator bringing their own perspective to the case, and it's all about how the two work together to get to the bottom of things. And it does play out like a lot of typical 90s thrillers that wishes they were 7, but it is still an entertaining and thrilling flick that'll easily kill 2 hours of your time.
A killer with no mercy.
You heard about that couple that got in a taxi, never made it home? Found him dead, buried, hands sticking out of the ground with his wife's diamond wedding band shoved on one of his fingers.
Number 5 is 21 Grams. This drama from director Alejandro González Iñárritu is about 3 disparate lives who connect through tragedy within the drug community. I don't even want to get into it because this movie is a tad involved, and to spell out the plot would be to spoil the movie, but don't worry, it's best to go into this one blind. It is so well written and executed. The story is told non-linearly, so stick with it because trust me, it all comes together. It is such a dark and tough movie, but it is a road well worth traveling down.
They say everyone loses 21 grams. Who will be next?
Number 4 is Short Term 12. This one is about a group home for at-risk teens, and Brie Larson plays a counselor who faces personal challenges as she tries to keep everything on the rails at her job. This is a stark and realistic view of young lives trying to get by. And it has a stacked cast, including John Gallagher Jr., Lakeith Stanfield, Caitlin Dever, and Rami Malek. And for all of the Brie Larson haters out there who are just like, how on earth do people like her? Watch this movie. Her performance is amazing. She's so good in it. She's so good in everything. Oh my god, it's just fantastic. It might sound like another downer of a movie, but it's actually an uplifting tale of the human spirit that's not to be missed.
I am on the floor every day with those kids, and last night, that girl sat next to me and she cried and she tried to tell me the only way that she knew how.
I've been waiting for 3 years for you to just once take the advice that you give your kids every 5 minutes and learn to talk.
Number 3 is Prom Night, because it's time for a little bit of fun. This 80s slasher is about a killer who stalks a group of high schoolers on prom night, exacting revenge after a tragedy from earlier years. It's kind of the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, even though I prefer that film. While Prom Night offers basic slasher thrills, the sequel Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2, which is also available, is a bonkers favorite that you have to check out. In this very special sequel, a young woman is possessed by the spirit of a murdered prom queen to go after those who wronged her in the past. Hello Mary Lou is like Freddy's Revenge meets Carrie, and I love it. This could easily qualify as my bad movie recommendation of the month, but I have something extra special to talk about in that section. They also have the remake of Prom Night on Netflix, and I just have to put out a warning. Don't watch it. It is terrible. It is like one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Watch these instead. Whether you're looking for a basic simple slasher or something with a supernatural twist, the Prom Night movies should satiate your craving for horror.
Tonight, someone has come to the prom alone.
Number 2 is Brokeback Mountain. This Academy Award-winning drama stars Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal as 2 cowboys who connect while working together as sheep herders in 1950s America. Over the years, they find themselves needing each other and continue their relationship as they try to appear straight in their everyday lives. I have to admit that I have complicated feelings with this one because it's the perfect example of the gay Hollywood movie that we need to move away from, but I also can't deny that this movie made a huge cultural impact as I was discovering my sexuality, and I remember watching it with friends, kind of laughing at it as I found myself connecting with it, and watching it as an adult, I see that it is just a fantastic movie. It is just so well made, it's so well written and shot and acted, it's simply beautiful. And I think it's important for us to celebrate the progress of today while also respecting the hardships that members of the gay community went through in order to get us here. If you're willing to go down this tragic and haunting road, Brokeback Mountain is an exceptional tale of gay love before it was permitted.
You know, it could be like this, just like this always.
This thing grabs hold of us in the wrong place,
we're dead.
Number 1 is The Kids Are Alright. Doing a total 180, this family dramedy is the opposite of Brokeback Mountain that we definitely need a lot more of. Annette Bening and Julianne Moore star as wives whose 2 teenage children begin to wonder who their biological father is. This leads the entire family on a journey of discovery that will shape their future. I don't want to get into the details and spoil anything for anyone who hasn't already seen it, so I will just say that this is a movie about parents grappling with their children growing up. It's so uplifting and joyous while still feeling grounded and real. Obviously, I strongly recommend everyone give this a watch.
So how'd you two meet?
I was a resident and
Jules had an emergency.
My tongue was numb.
and I told her to relax.
And then my tongue started working again.
Oh my god.
And now it's time for my bad movie recommendation of the month, and I've got a Nicolas Cage flick for you, so you know it's a fun time. Drive Angry is an action horror thriller about a man who escapes from hell to get revenge against the crazy cult that murdered his daughter and kidnapped his granddaughter. He teams up with everyone's favorite Amber Heard to head out on a road trip leading straight to hell. This movie is bonkers madness brought to us from the team that made the My Bloody Valentine remake, and it was shot in 3D and marketed to be the next big 3D hit, but ultimately became a big budget flop, which makes for the best bad movie. I genuinely enjoy road movies and villainous cults, but you've also got Nicolas Cage being ridiculous and Amber Heard being a badass. Obviously, this won't be for everyone, and that's exactly why it's the bad movie recommendation of the month.
Wouldn't want to be you when Satan finds out.
What's he gonna do? Not let me back in?
That is my list of the best movies to watch on Peacock in the month of December. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to leave your favorites in the comments. And if you want to see me cover Peacock in future What to Watch videos, give this a big thumbs up. That way I know that you actually want more recommendations. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, and if you choose to do so, I would encourage that you hit that bell and turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss any creepy content. Another big thank you guys. I really appreciate you pushing me over 800 subscribers. I'm getting ever so closer to 1,000. You know, I'm sure there's gonna be someone going, wow, only so many subscribers. How pathetic. I know, I'm working on it. I'm trying. But I just want to reiterate that I really appreciate the support that you guys have shown my tiny little channel. The fact that you guys are willing to spend some time in this little pocket of YouTube. I just can't thank you enough. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Happy holidays, folks. Let me know what your favorite Christmas horror movies are in the comments, because that's always fun. That's it for this video, but I won't stop you from watching another.